accounting terms can be confusing, and markup and margin might just be the most confused terms of all. So in this video, I'm going to make all clear. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you know next time a video is uploaded about all things business money. I am Annette Ferguson, Chartered Accountant, Certified Profit First Professional, and I am CEO of Annette Co, a UK-based accounting firm. Margin. There is gross margin and net margin. Most people, when they're speaking, are referring to gross margin, and that is the income minus the cost of sales. That gives you the gross profit or gross profit margin. Now, sometimes you'll see this reflected as a percentage. People will expect the answer when they say to you, "What's your margin?" They'll want a percentage as the answer. So in order to calculate the gross profit margin percentage, what you need to do is take that gross profit margin and divide it by the sales revenue, the income of the business. It's important to note that if you are VAT registered, these numbers are net of VAT that you would be calculating this on. And typically, gross margin percentage is all looked at often when we're speaking about a product-based business. Not exclusively, but typically it's in relation to product-based businesses because cost of sales becomes ever so more important when we are looking at a product rather than a service-based business. So what should your gross profit margin be? What should that percentage equal? Well, that is a bit like saying how long is a piece of string, because in some businesses, in some industries, that percentage will be tiny, and in others, it will be huge. So it's worth checking out for your specific industry where that might lie for a financially healthy business. And when you're looking at either the gross margin or indeed the margin percentage amount, the higher number is better. So let's say you calculate that you have a 70% gross profit margin. That is better than if your competitor has a 50% gross profit margin. So how does this differ from markup? Well, markup is the amount by which you are increasing the base cost of the product in order to reach the sales price. Where confusion can start to come in with markup and margin is when people are looking at wanting to hit a certain margin, a certain gross profit margin percentage in their business, and they look and say, okay, so how much do I have to increase my product in order to hit that margin? Well, those percentages and those numbers, they are different to each other. They are not going to be the same number or the same percentage. So you can't apply the gross profit margin you want to hit to the product in order to mark it up. These are separate things. Now, I will show you how you can relate them to each other, but this is where the confusion typically lies, is trying to apply the gross profit margin percentage that people want to achieve as a markup. That is not correct. You can't do that. You won't get the result that you want to get if you try and do that. If you're getting value from this video, do make sure you hit that like button. So let's look at some examples with numbers in. If a product is priced at £100 and the cost of that product for the business to buy in or manufacture is £70, then the gross margin is £100 minus £70, which equals £30. Expressed as a percentage, we take that gross margin number of £30, we divide it by the £100 revenue, and we get 30% as the gross profit margin for the product. Now, if we look at it from a markup perspective, we have purchased the product for £70 in our business, and we want to sell it for £100. Therefore, we are marking it up by £30. That is a percentage of 42.9% markup. That's the markup amount divided by the product cost. So the markup amount of £30 divided by the product cost of £70. So you can see we have our gross margin of 30% and we have our markup of 42.9%. If you want a 10% margin, your markup needs to be 11.1%. If you want a 20% margin, your markup has to be 25%. You can do a calculation in order to derive the markup from the target gross margin. If you take your desired margin and you divide that by the cost of the goods, you're going to get your markup percentage. So let's look at an example. Let's say that the price of the product is £7. And let's say that you want to achieve a 5% margin on that product. That means that you'll want to sell it for £12. So we take the £5 margin and we divide that by the £7 cost. When we do that, that equals 71.4%. So when we multiply our £7 by 1.714, so that's just turning it into a grossed up version, 100% plus the 71.4%, what we get is that £12 selling price. And the difference between the £12 selling price and the £7 cost is our £5 margin. As with margin, there is no right or wrong answer as to what your markup should be, but of course, the higher that you achieve, the more profitable your business will be as a result. It's best to look at industry standards and what typically happens within your sector to work out where you should start thinking about your margins and your markups. And I've based these examples on a product business, but this can be done with a service business as well, as long as you work out what your cost of sales are. Many service-based businesses don't truly dig into the cost of sales for their business, but if you do that, you can absolutely apply this to your service business as well as to a product. And if you're struggling with accounting for your business, I would love to help. Do reach out to me at yt@annetteco.co.uk and let me know how I can support you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.